Minecraft released on May 17th, 2009. How much of a meme would it be if Hytale came out the same day 10 years later? Hey guys, I'm back for another video, and as you can tell, this is a very controversial subject. I know I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this, but yeah, today's video, I am going to make a pretty good guess at the release date for Hytale. For those of you that have already seen, I did post a video about this all the way back in, I think it was December or early January, and it got a lot of positive reception, and now that release is being more and more anticipated, I think I'm going to back up my theory with a little bit more evidence. I believe that Hytale is going to release in May, not necessarily on the same day as Minecraft's birthday, because that'd be a little rude, but here's some of the reasons why. So I collected a little bit of data to back up my theory, and it turns out for the games that I selected, at least, I took a good sampling of the games that I used to like to play back in the day, and all of them range from 1 to 8 months between the announcement trailer and release, with an average of 4 months, which would be pretty close to when I believe Hytale will come out. So a 5-month gap between the announcement trailer and release would be pretty close to the average. I would claim that the game would come out earlier, but there's a few other reasons for the May release date. I mean, for one thing, the beta hasn't even come out yet. I would imagine that Hypixel would want a gap between when the beta comes out and when the game itself comes out. It could only be 2 weeks, it could be a month, who knows? Actually, some games, like Call of Duty Black Ops 3, the beta was in like August, and then the game came out in like October, so it was like a few months gap between the beta and the release of the game. I don't think Hytale's gonna do that, simply because there'll be way too many people that figure out a way to, like, you know, get the downloaded version of the game and get it to run offline and then just simply play it from beta release all the way until main release. So I would say the gap between the beta and the actual release would probably be at most a month, most realistically maybe a week or two. There's been people that were pressuring staff to release the game, like I've noticed that Captain Sparkle specifically has been more and more urgent with asking Hytale to release the game. Of course, I don't think they're going to cave to these. A lot of you guys know that when the fan art blog post came out, a lot of people got angry because at this point, I would say the Hytale pre-release community is starting to get a little toxic. People feel almost entitled to something, and there's a lot of hate on like YouTubers that talk about it, which is why I'm expecting quite a lot of flack for this video. But yeah, I think tensions are starting to rise, things are turning more sour and less optimistic, and I think that even though there's a lot of pressure from the Hytale community right now, I do think that they are going to hold out until when the game is ready, and as of right now, Pi Day, March 14th, as I'm recording this, I do think that they are going to stick it out another month or two and actually finish the game. They said they've been hard at work for a long time, to the point where like they literally can't even post a blog this week because they're so busy working on the game. So I think their goal is to get this thing out as soon as they can, while still being, like, you know, a finished game, simply because there's a lot of pressure from the community to get this thing out there. A lot of you guys would probably know that Minecraft as a game was carried by YouTube back in the day. I would dare say that like most of its success would be attributed to YouTube content creators promoting the game. Even Hypixel themselves, they have YouTube Rank, there's YouTubers. I know for a fact that I started playing Hypixel Bed Wars because of Technoblade. If you talk to anybody on Hypixel, chances are they will have a good reason for starting to play, and most of the time it's a YouTuber. So I think they know the value of YouTube as a community and the power that content creators have to promote something and make it more popular. So I think their strategy involves gaming the system, releasing the game when YouTube has the greatest amount of viewers. So here's a picture of my analytics for the past few years on my channel. As you can see, around every May to June, there's a large spike in views. This isn't because I'm making more content. I notoriously pre-record, so like I always upload like close to once a day. But even then, there's an increase in views because of summer break. Middle to high school and college students all go on break from May to June, and as a result, there's a lot more views on YouTube. A lot more watch minutes are spent on YouTube because people aren't in school anymore and they're not stressing about homework and they can just, chill out and watch videos. So for that reason, I think Hypixel is going to take advantage of this fact and release their game just as people are getting out of school, so YouTubers would make content on it, and then tons and tons and tons of people will watch those videos, and then they will see that the game exists, and then they will download it and play it. So those are the main components to my theory, guys. I would expect a May release, even though they are being pressured to release the game, and even though the average, out of the sample I took, the average gap between the announcement trailer and the release is about 4 months. I think the YouTube thing is a big enough reason, and the game, being done by release instead of just being rushed out. I think those two reasons would add a month to the development time. Oh, one final point before I end this video. I do think that Hytale should announce an official release date, simply because, as I said, the community is becoming kind of toxic now. People are hating on each other simply for making content about the game. There are people that feel entitled to blog posts and they get angry and they vocalize on Twitter when they don't get one, and it's becoming quite a mess. So I do think that officially announcing a date would help to not only bring the hype back, but it would, prevent a whole bunch of the hate that's going around right now. Are there any other bits of evidence that you think would point towards a May release? I don't think that they would intentionally want to release the game on Minecraft's birthday 10 years after the release, because that would be the most savage thing I think I've ever seen. And from what I've seen, Mojang and Hypixel are on good terms right now, so I don't think they're going to do that. That'd be very rude. But I think it would be pretty close. Yeah, I think it would be kind of poetic, though, that like 10 years after Minecraft's release, give or take a few days, that Hytale would come out. I know this video is going to get a lot of flack from especially the Reddit community. Those guys are always out to get me for whatever reason, so if you did enjoy this video, make sure to keep the balance and like the video, maybe even comment saying your own theories for release dates. I know for a fact that releasing later than June or July would hurt the game, because it's going to miss the big view explosion that happens every year on YouTube. Well, anyway, that's it. So, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later.